we are live. I'm your host, Tazeen. We are live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. with a new artist from Detroit. And today, I'm extremely excited because I got my bestie.
Oh, yay!
So please welcome Christina Rountree.
Hi.
So excited to have her. And with her dope t-shirt from Indonesia that says...
I don't know what it says. What does it say?
Palm Street.
It's my favorite t-shirt.
It looks good.
Yeah.
Today's topic, we are talking about the importance of supporting local artists.
Yeah.
Which Christina is really great at. But she herself is an artist. So before we start with the topic, I want to talk a little bit about who you are.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
What's your expression?
Okay.
And that's it. And then well, if we want to dig deeper, we'll dig deeper.
It's going to feel like I was bored.
Yeah, beyond that.
Yeah. So, okay. So I like to do graphic design work. But when you say that, it's such a broad spectrum. It's like people saying I'm a graphic designer, and it's like people saying, I like food. And it's like, okay, well what?
What kind?
Yeah. So I do, right now I really like to do promos, and I like to do flyers for people. And I found that there's kind of I don't want to be serendipitous, but drought.
Yeah.
There's a drought of designers who are really interested in doing something really beautiful and articulate in terms of its design. A lot of people will just kind of slap stuff together and get a lot of clients from that. And so I still do. I've been doing it for a really long time. Yeah. Since probably 2013.
And a lot of the art, actually, all of the promos that you see for Lufuki and Divine Providence.
This guy right here.
Oh, Christina.
Yeah.
Hello. Hi.
And digging deeper stuff.
Yeah, all the digging deeper images.
Yeah. The
pictures you see of each person, the design, the website designs for all the graphics that you see.
Yeah. So that's kind of like my main focus in terms of my artistic expression, because I have the most freedom there.
Yeah.
I like to sing. I'm trying to learn different kinds of hand drums right now. I've been musical my whole life. What else?
And when you were younger, you played?
I played trombone and flute because I was such a band dork. But I'm proud of that. I'm happy for that because it taught me how to take one for the team, but not in a self-destructive way. Yeah, more in terms of like humbling yourself.
Yeah.
You know. So I'm grateful for that opportunity as a young person. What else? I don't know. I just like
all things art.
All things art. Yeah.
When you were younger and you started playing, was that something you wanted to do?
Yes. I was obsessed with Aladdin. This is so random. I was obsessed with Aladdin and the song A Whole New World. And my mom told me she played the flute, and I really wanted to be just like my mom when I was little. So I decided I wanted to play the flute too. And that's how that all started.
I didn't know she played the flute. Does she still play?
No. She played up until high school, but then she dropped off on it. So, yeah.
So that's when you got into music. And that continued.
Yep.
And then what about graphics? How did you get into that?
I got it. Okay. I went to Specs Howard because I wanted to learn how to be a videographer.
Okay.
And a photographer. Years before I went to Specs, I actually worked for a nonprofit organization called Celebrate Mercy. And I was a flight attendant at the time, so I could get flights for free. And Celebrate Mercy is a webcast that has different prominent scholars throughout America talk about the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in Islam. Yeah. And so when the organizers, when they found out I could fly for free anywhere I wanted, they bought $3,000 worth of equipment.
Wow.
Gave it to me, and were just like, all right, can you go here and here and here and meet all these amazing, really important people and just like talk to them? And I had no idea how to do any of this. And one of my, I call him my guru now, but another really prominent, world-renowned artist, photographer and videographer, his name is Mustafa Davis, just randomly hit me up and was like, hey, do you need help? And I was like, yeah. And when I was back in the day, like, I didn't realize how world-renowned he's amazing. He's won multiple awards for both his film and his photography. And he didn't have to do that at all.
Wow. And
he did. He would like text me, he would email me, he would let me call him sometimes if I was like, what's an f-stop? You know? Like stuff like that. And he would just like coach me through it. And so after I quit Celebrate Mercy, I realized that I really had a passion for it. And so I went to Specs Howard for diploma in media arts. And I didn't think I was going to get into graphic design. I was like, oh, this is just like something that I can use maybe later. But it actually became kind of like a prominent part of my art now. So
because you do tons, I mean, you've been doing tons and tons of flyers.
I do lots of flyers. I love doing flyers. I miss my days of photography, but right now I'm just really focused on graphic. Maybe, you know, I'm gonna probably switch on and off.
I mean, I don't feel like that's ever something you're gonna stop doing.
I don't think so either. Yeah. And then it got a little self-absorbed because I just ended up taking selfies of myself.
No, but Christina took some really, really dope images of like, I don't know how you, the one I really love is the universe one.
Oh yeah. So I did some abstract stuff of myself.
And it was like just it was her and her body was like glistening.
Yeah.
And then it was just the universe.
Yeah. I wanted myself to look like I was the moon and everything around me was space. And my hair was a part of like a galaxy. Yeah. Like it was a whole thing. Yeah.
It amazes me.
Oh, thanks.
What I always ask her that, I'm like, how do you do this? How do you do it? Like, what's the process? What is that process? Is it like something, just an idea comes to you, or like, can I show this? Can I show this too?
Yeah, sure.
Like,
oh man, yeah, I don't know. It does it.
Am I supposed to put my hand behind it?
I don't know.
I don't know how to do any of this stuff.
I don't either. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's the process?
Well, mainly it's me just, it's not something that happens all the time. It's really not. It's something that'll pop up months in between each other.
Yeah.
And I will be inspired by a feeling. Most of the time it's like me just being super passionate about something, which is manic. That's what that is. The definition is called manic. But I'll just be really, really into it, and I'll have to like just let it out somehow. Yeah. With the universe one, that was because I wanted to, I needed to express myself as I am expansive. You know, I'm going to be what I'm going to be, and you can't diminish that. You know, like nobody can diminish your the amount of light you have within you. Yeah. So like I was like, I need to let this out. And so I spent 2 days. I went to Lush, I got bath bombs, and I took pictures of myself in my bathtub with my tripod and just me, and like a remote timer thing. I do the remote thing, and then I put my hand like and I did it for like hours until I got the shot I was looking for, and then I went into post edit, and then I fluffed it up with yeah.
Is it like, how different is it, I guess, when you have an idea come to you and you're creating versus you have clients and you have to create something?
Yeah. So when I first started doing graphic design for clients, I was like, oh no, I can do that. I can do anything you want. Yeah. Just let me know. I don't do that anymore. Yeah. I tell people I have a particular style. I give them samples, and I say, this is what it's probably going to end up looking like, you know. Because when I first started, I didn't know what was going to come out. Yeah. You know, I didn't know what kind of design or what my eye was going to be, because I was new at it. But now, I don't for those of you who are on right now, like, you'll know I don't advertise. You know, like it's word of mouth, and I do that on purpose.
Yeah.
Because I want my clients to be people I actually know.
Yeah.
And then I want my clients to know that I'm going to give you what I feel and what I see.
Yeah.
It's going to be much harder for me to have you tell me something and then give a perfect expression of it.
Yeah.
I've only done that once, and it's with a company called Martha Pearl. And she said, I want it to be important because it was a bathhouse for women, underprivileged women. Mm-hmm. And she said, I want it to be this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And I was like, okay. And within an hour, I gave her something, and she was like, this is exactly what I thought it was going to be. Yeah, and it only happened once. And I was like, cool. And
wow.
Yeah. But that rarely ever happens. And I don't think I think it's phenomenal that designers that can do that, like on a consistent basis. Yeah. That's amazing to me. I just like to do little promos and flyers here and there for people.
And that's hard too, because then people, like, it must be a hard process, because then people are like, well, can you change this? Or I wanted something more like this. Or like this. And then, like, they might pay like a base price, but it's so much work that probably goes into even just thinking about what you're gonna do. Before you even do it.
It's a lot. I put a lot of stipulations on people. Mainly, I discourage with monetary increments.
Yeah.
You know, so I tell people, okay, it's gonna be 2 to 5 days for this project. If I don't get it after 5 days, then whatever will happen. I'm sorry. And then if you get it and you don't like it and you want me to do more than 3 edits, then it's gonna cost you like $25 more.
Yeah.
And that usually discourages people
from
sending it back to me.
Yeah.
But then there are some people who are like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
And then I just keep getting racked in money.
Yeah. So. That's good though.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's the thing that's hard. Like, people might get frustrated that, like, you're charging me more, but it's a lot of time.
It's a lot of time. It takes me, especially to do a re-edit, because that means I have to rethink my entire design concept around your particular flyer completely before I edit that. Moving something over and putting an image there, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but it takes me about an hour to do. And I'm not alone in that. That's like standard. And so it's going to take away from my other jobs. Yeah. If I have to continue to edit for people for one particular thing. And that's hard because at that point, like, I have to charge. Yeah. Because I don't want to get to the point where I'm not able to sustain myself, and then it becomes free work.
Yeah. Which people always want free work.
Always.
Art is not free.
No.
We're in the middle of a show.
That's Aubrey. I knew that was Aubrey.
Aubrey likes to sit on the piano, and if it's open, she likes to make music. That's what she does.
I do.
So you are a musician, played trombone, played flute, singing, now in drums, graphic design, photography, videography, all of this stuff.
Yeah.
But we're talking about the importance of supporting local artists.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like you yourself are an artist, but you're talking about how you support other artists.
Yeah.
Which is so important.
Yes.
Because it's like community building.
Yes. It's very important.
Well, before we even get into that, let's talk a little bit about what do you consider local artists?
Oh.
I like to do the steps, scaffold the whole thing.
Okay, that's a good question. Okay, so when I think locally, I think of metro area, so within a city, a metropolitan city. Yeah. So anywhere between Detroit and Ann Arbor, I would consider local.
Okay.
Anything past, like in the Kalamazoo area, that's not going to be local in my viewpoint. Anything where you have a major point, a major focal point, and that would be the city of Detroit for us here. Yeah. So all the way out to Ann Arbor, and then all the way up to Bloomfield, and then all the way over to like Sterling Heights, Madison Heights. I encompass that as like
greater Detroit. Metro,
like the metro area.
Metro Detroit.
Yeah.
And are you including all sorts of art?
All sorts of art. So music, visual, so photography and paint, or graphics, poetry, spoken word. And then there's also, it's small in Detroit, but it exists, fashion. Yeah. That's definitely a part of the artistic expression and scene of local art.
Absolutely.
And then culinary. Because culinary arts exist. I should know. I like to eat.
How do you culinary art? Like chefs? Or
yeah. Chefs, people who people who envision the art of eating. You know, people, you know it too. You go to a certain restaurant and you'll have a radish surrounded by like 4 dots of like pesto, and you're like, what is this? That's culinary art.
That's so true. Like Selden Standard, everything there looks as good as it tastes. Yeah. Hi, listening to you guys on our way to Costco. Hi. Yeah, that's so true. I want to do a cooking party. Yeah. This is something that Christina and I used to do a lot. We used to, with our friends, like do whole 5-course meals. And we'd plan it out ahead of time, like what was on the menu, including drinks, including dessert, and the whole thing. Do you remember those glasses that you had? Those tall glasses?
Oh my God, with the floral things on it?
Yeah, with the floral things.
Yeah, and make the little drinks.
Yes.
Those are great.
That's an art. Pairing foods together. It's a whole thing.
It's an experience. So yeah, it's not a part of the greater part of artistic expression, but it is definitely a part of it. Yeah. You know, you can't forget that.
You're going to include all of those things in art. Yeah. All of those things. Where do you go to find local art?
Where do you go to find local art? It's relatively easy for those looking. So if you're not looking for it, then you don't realize it's there, although you're still benefiting from it. It's called aesthetics. You go into different restaurants or cafes. A few of them that I can list off the top of my head. We have Bottom Line is a great one. Cass Cafe has been an OG for showcasing local art and local talents. Dessert Oasis. I think it's Dessert. Yeah, Dessert Oasis downtown, and then there's also another one in Rochester, Rochester Hills. There's a lot of places that you can go and experience the two, so the culinary arts with the visual, and then also open mics. There's a lot of places you can go.
There are. And I would say if you're first starting out, open mics are the easiest way to go because they're usually free. Yeah. And it's a way to really meet people who are usually like early on in their musical career or like self-discovery in music, which I mean, it's not always the case. Like you'll always have open mics with people who just, that's the scene that they want to be at. Yeah. But then there's like music events that you want to go to. Yep. Like El Club always has stuff. Like there's always different places to find artists. Like we went to the Belt. Yeah. A couple nights ago.
Yeah, we went to the Belt.
It was a whole thing there. Like there was like DJs that you could meet there, like performers, MCs, like all sorts of stuff going on.
Yeah, it was a lot. And it doesn't have to, open mics don't always have to be musical. You can definitely go and share poetry. I have never seen it yet, but I want to so bad. I want someone to come with a canvas and an easel.
You were not there at my open mic.
Did someone do that?
So what we did, when did I do this? I did this earlier this year. Okay. Malika Arts, who is the artist of this painting, I had her come in and I was like, I want you to paint while people are performing. Yep. And so what we did was we do like 6 artists, we take a short break and then another 6 artists. So each artist that came up to perform something told her the color they were feeling. See? And then she painted that color into the painting while they were performing.
Yeah, you could definitely do that. There's different, so the Detroit Shipping Company is a new place that's opened up. And the thing that I love about that is that downstairs so they've got the culinary because they have pop-ups of different types of restaurants. There's like Mexican food, whatever you want to, There's like Caribbean, and then there's a Japanese sushi place. So that's the culinary part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Then outside, they have a stage for performing arts. And so I think that's cool. So they have DJs, they have live bands, and then upstairs, they have an art gallery of multiple artists.
Oh, I didn't know they had a
Yeah, so they have art gallery of multiple artists, and then also you can buy the art there. Wow. It's not just on display. So these are the types. It's a 3-in-1 kind of situation where you're getting the food, you're getting the performing, and you're getting the visual all at the same time. Yeah, and it's great because it's all local art. You know,
that's really dope.
Yeah,
I think that's what's so important is to have spaces where local artists can showcase their work.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It's hard because you think, well, those of us who might be too afraid to show our work or who don't really get out and are like, there's no place in Detroit. You know, it's hard to think of anything other than the Detroit Institute of Arts. You know, you think that's the only place there is that you could possibly show up at, or Cass Cafe because they're OG and everybody knows about that.
Yeah. But there's so many.
There's so many. I mean, there's a girl, oh my God, I wrote her down. Okay. Her name, there's a girl, her artist name is Victoria Bayagich. I don't know, Victoria, what does that look like?
It looks like Bayagich.
Bayagich. I randomly went into Desert Oasis, and there was this huge picture of a bird, a really, really pretty bird on a frying pan. And I was like, what? I was like, this is really cute. And so I was like, I need to check this girl out. So I went around the whole coffee shop because I was there. I went around the whole coffee shop. I really looked at all the art, and then I followed her because I was like, this is amazing. And that'll lead up to like, how do you support local artists? But like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you just have to go out and look for it. It's already out there for us to enjoy. We just don't realize it's there for our. Like, just look and see what the name says, because guarantee you. Thank God the city of Detroit is doing this. Yeah. But guarantee you, a lot of the places that you'll be at, the paintings and things and performers will be local. Yeah.
And you'll always know who they are because they'll put something up with her. That's so smart, because this is something that you do all the time. Because Christina's always finding new artists. Yeah. Oh, I found this new person, or I found this new artist, or I started following this person and they're doing dope work. Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know, like certain people, you're like, I don't know, how do you find that? But that makes so much sense that as soon as you come across something, you actually look at it. Yeah. And think, who created this?
There have been times I found one of my favorite artists, his name's Alfonso Cox. I was in his house. Because I was with his roommate. And I was looking around, I was like, this is a nice house. And then I saw one of his paintings, and I was like, who did that? And his roommate was like, my roommate. And I was like, I want to know who this guy is. And he was like, that's so forceful. You're being very aggressive. But like, that's, you just got to keep your eye open. And you don't have to go to IKEA, to get good art. You can very easily support people in the city.
Yeah, why? And if you go to IKEA, your art's going to look the same as everybody else.
And this is what's important about that. Look at the finger wag. Who is this? Sorry. This is what's so important. Now it's in my head. This is what's so important about that. Local art is an expression of communities and environments. And if you aren't engaged in that conversation, then you're not really you're not listening to the voice that you are already a part of, which means you're really not listening to you. You're not hearing your own experience, your own, and so, and it's true, because think about all the people we know who aren't, who literally, they do nothing, they have they go to work, they come home, they go to sleep. On the weekends, they binge on TV, and then they do the same thing the next week. And it's because they're not listening to themselves. They're not listening to their hearts and their heartbeat. And the beat of their heart is through their communities and their environments. And a great way to become a part of that conversation is to engage in local art. Wow. Like, it's like very obvious for me, but like, people don't think about it that way.
So that's a wrap.
I know.
That was the episode. That's so true. That's so true. It is a sense of community.
Yeah.
I love the feeling when people come over and I get to tell them who made the art.
Yes.
And I'll show them Instagram, like Malika Arts, for instance, or another one of our friends, Hadi Hussein, his mom, Sosin. She did a painting. Like, we have, like, different people, and people will ask, like, who made this? And I'm like, well, actually, you can follow this person. Yeah. There was a friend of mine who came over, and she really liked one of the pieces that I had. That piece, actually. Okay, yeah. And I was like, why don't you message her? Why don't you? And she got a piece made.
Nice.
And that's an amazing way to support, because you're getting the word out. B, you're experiencing the art that they've created. And C, you're getting them business, and that's their livelihood. And
that, exactly. There's no greater validation than to have people from your own community vibe off of what you're doing. Yeah. You know, because, like, you created it essentially because and or for them. Yeah. You know, so for people to be like, yeah, I dig it, that's got to be, like, amazing. Wow.
I'm just thinking of, like, visual art in general and performance art, like the type of records that you buy and keep in your home, because your home, I always joke that this is like Malika Arts Gallery art. Yeah. Like, your home can become a gallery of your community.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Because essentially that's going to be who you are.
Yeah. Let's take some comments that are here.
Okay.
Someone asked, do you write Google reviews for your favorite spots?
Oh.
And Afaf said, that's beautiful, Christina, mashallah. Engage local arts. Oh, is that someone we should look up? What is that? Whale, the artist? We will look them up. Engage local art. Yeah, do you do reviews?
I do Yelp reviews for a lot of places where I eat at. I do Yelp reviews. But I don't do Google reviews in terms of, like, galleries and things like that. No. I guess I should. I'm more focused on what I eat. Sorry.
If you guys have, Kamal said, yay, and he posted Malika Arts. If you guys have people that are artists, go ahead, post them, because this is a conversation.
Yeah, please engage with us, talk with us.
Before I take that next one, what did you just say? It reminded me of something. Oh, Yelp reviews, yes, but I think one of the great ways that a lot of us can support local artists, which a lot of us already do, is your Instagram live story or your your snaps or whatever you're doing. Wherever you go, like, if you take a video of it or like a picture of it or shout it out and tag it, even if people don't go there, at least they'll know about it. And I feel like I find out a lot of stuff because you're posting where you're at.
All the time. So one of the greatest ways, the 3 greatest ways to support local artists. Your time, with your time, okay? Your time, so going out to see people, just going out, being there, you know, showing up to shows, which is huge. Your money, you know, buy their stuff. Yep. And even if you can't buy their stuff, at least go out and spend the $10 cover it takes to see them, you know?
Yeah.
Buy the album, donate when they're having a contest. Tony, I can't pronounce his last name because it's always weird to me, but Tony Weiland? I don't know. Tony Weiland, he has a contest going on right now. Go to his page. He's the only Tony, other than Tony Rave, that's an artist in Detroit. He's on Instagram, but he's having a contest right now. Vote. That's your time. That's your money. Buy stuff. And then the third one, social media.
Yep.
You know, just keep on pressing on. You see something you like, share it. You know someone that's going to be at a gallery and you can't go, post it on your story. You don't even have to post it on your timeline anymore. Yeah. So it's so convenient to have stories now because we can just post things that are happening without having the, you know, it's going to mess up my timeline.
My page.
Or it's going to mess up my page.
Some of us don't care. There's some people who have, like, very aesthetically pleasing Instagram pages that are, like, super curated and, like, all that stuff. And
which is great.
It's amazing. I wish someone could do that for me.
Right. I wish, too. Mine is a hot mess, but a good hot mess.
Mine's just mostly all digging deeper and then random cats.
And a random cat.
A couple other things in between.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a comment. Illadope, what would you guys say for artists that aren't local trying to break into the local scene?
That's a good question.
If they're not, what do you mean they're not local? They
Like
want to break in.
they moved here.
You become a local. You got to become a local.
You got to be out there. You got to go to every single thing you can possibly get your hands on.
Yeah.
Every single thing. There's okay. We are culture creators. Okay, write that down. We are culture creators. D.Cypher, okay, is another organization that does a lot of work with live music.
I'll tag these things too.
Yeah, we are culture creators. D.Cypher. Another one is Stable Heed. Stable Heed does a lot of gigs and they're very open. These are all people who are young, who are actual artists themselves. So it's not like organizations like A Simple Sound where you have, and I don't mean to diss A Simple Sound, don't get mad at me. A Simple
Sound has something going on.
Do they?
I think they posted a thing like as if they're ending.
What?
But I don't think they are. Look it up, guys. I don't know.
But that's more of like investors coming into the city and investing in the music scene, which is great. But it's also really, really great if you're someone moving into Detroit and you don't really know the scene yet because you're not from Michigan. It's sometimes better to go to places where the musicians and the artists are actually running it.
Yeah.
You'll get a lot more opportunities to network in those kind of environments.
That's true. I would add, depending on what kind of art you do, go to open mics.
Bottom line is
Bottom line, every Friday night. I host there the third Friday of the night from 7 to 9. Dessert Oasis has it every Tuesday night. Ash Company just started. I think they're on Wednesdays. Miss Ruth's is on Fridays. There are several of them. I think I've done a post, but maybe I'll put a post together and just put some of the major ones that are there's an open mic almost every single day.
Yeah.
Not even almost every single day of the week in Detroit. And that's a great way to meet other artists and network and create that sense of community. Because if you're new, the first thing you want to do is meet people, and you want to have spaces that you actually go to that are your regular spots.
Yeah.
And last week's episode that we did with Nora, who is actually the owner of Bottom Line, the co-owner of Bottom Line, we talked about home and how do you create a sense of home. And that's how you create a sense of home, is really finding your regular spots that you go at. Because then when people recognize your face, they're like, oh, yeah, that's the guy who does rap. Oh, yeah, that's the girl who does graphics. That's the person who like, people will recognize you for your art.
And when you look invested and when you show up and you're invested, people will invest in you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that has been the case for our type of art and music. Like, I think people recognize us with our art because everywhere we go, it's not that it's not self-promotion. It's that if it's a part of your identity and if you as a whole are an artist and it's just flowing from you, people will see that in you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. They'll see the consistency and they'll know that you're serious. And so they'll take the time to be serious about you. They'll take the time to come and show up to your stuff because they see that it matters. For people who are just kind of in and out, it's a little harder to gauge whether or not your time is going to be valued as a supporter.
True. And I think collaborations are really important too. The Creative Armory. What can local creatives do to overcome creative block?
Oh, this is actually
that's a good. And Illadope said, when I have a creative block, I go travel.
Yeah, so this is something that's going to be unique to you. When first thing I do is I disengage. So I am a Muslim, okay? And within Islam, there's a lot of different teachings and practical ways in which there are signs, right, of the divine trying to speak to you or trying to teach you something. And one of the greatest signs, one of the biggest ones, is things will start to fall away. Things will start to go down and unravel. And I believe that creative blocks are kind of I don't know what the word is. It's kind of similar to that. When you have a creative block, that's the divine or the universe telling you slow down. You need to rearrange some things. So the very first thing I do is I take a day, self-care day for myself. And that can mean anything for you, whatever self-care is for you. Go ahead and do it. Face mask, taking a walk in nature, whatever it is that you need to do. And then the very next day, I try to stay as positive as possible, and I get random tasks done. So I will go to the grocery store and I will buy what I need to buy. I will go home and I'll actually put it up. You know, and so now I'm giving myself opportunities for celebrations, right? And I'm allowing myself to be happy and to be proud of accomplishing something. When I've laid that in place, I try to do something new. So what did I say? Self-care day, right? I have a day of self-care. Next day, I try to build small accomplishments. They don't have to be big, you know, not something huge. Yeah. Small accomplishments that you do. And then after that, I forget what I said.
And then it lays the foundation of doing something new.
Doing something new. So you try to do something new, and that will, without fail, give you something to be inspired by. Somebody on their Instagram story I saw the other day said, take your favorite song and rewrite another verse for it. Or rewrite a bridge for your favorite song. Like rewrite it or do another bridge for it. Take your favorite food and try to add something different to it. You know, that will get your creative juices flowing. When you try to disengage from the symptom, right? Because what a creative block is a symptom of something else. Yeah. When you disengage from the symptom, you're better able to see the source and hopefully find a cure.
I like that. Aisha said, heart face and icon. Great advice and very insightful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think disengaging is really important because sometimes blocks happen because we're not listening to ourselves. Yeah. I feel like creative juices flow when you have tapped into yourself. It's a form of self-discovery, and it's a form of taking whatever is inside and the feelings that you have and then expressing it through whatever means, whatever art that you have. And if we get so wrapped up in what's going on, it's hard to look within.
It's very hard to look within.
Because everything is really blocking. Like, a block in and of itself means that you have to strip something away.
Right.
Right?
And I wouldn't suggest other than the song and like recreating another verse or something, I wouldn't suggest imitating other artists because you're stepping away further from listening to yourself, you know? Yeah. So although I know that that's important for people who are just starting with like drumming or guitar or any instrument, you know, you find an artist and you practice to those songs, that's different. What I'm saying is that when there's a creative block, try your best not to use other artists' interpretations or expressions and reinvent them in a way that almost seems a little bit plagiarizing. Yeah. You don't want to do that.
Be you still.
Yeah.
Like, be yourself. I really liked in one of the episodes that we had from last season, Ashley Peacock, he said that think of it as always there's a river that's flowing and it's just a matter of taking a cup of that water. And the river is just this metaphor of like there's always emotions that you're feeling, there's always experiences that you're having. If you go outside and you hear the cicadas, you hear them, that might inspire you. You see the clouds, that might inspire you. You see a friend, that might inspire you. Like, there's all these things that can inspire us, but a lot of times we don't see that.
That's what it is. You have to actually see it, and the only way to see it is to open up and declutter. Yeah. Declutter your heart and your vision.
Because there's so much out there to see.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a matter
of endless.
Are you open to it?
It's endless.
Even sounds. Do you guys hear that?
No, they probably can't hear it.
No. If you can hear it, let me know. It's what are cicadas? I don't even know what they are. The little bugs.
They're huge. They're these huge bugs
that make this noise at 6 to 7 every single evening for a good 2 hours.
But you never see them.
You never see them. Yeah, they're in the trees.
You just hear them in the trees, but you never actually see them. Not even during the daytime, you don't see a cicada. You're not going to be like, oh, hey, it's a cicada walk.
No. But you'll hear it. Yeah, there was, when we moved here one day, I was just like, wait, what is that sound? And then I realized it was happening every single day.
Yeah.
That could be the same thing with seeing something. You might take the same route to work and you just didn't see something.
Yeah.
Because you just didn't look up.
Yeah.
That's how I felt at the belt. On the parking structure of each level, there's an art piece and it has some words on it.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And I didn't know that was there. And I asked Mahogany, I was like, how long has that been there? And she's like, oh, about a year now.
Oh.
And I was just like, I didn't see it because I didn't look up.
Yeah.
I was so engrossed with what was happening at eye level.
Yeah.
That I just didn't look up.
Yeah.
That's so true. Wise words. Why was this topic so important for you?
Oh man, it was really important for me because I feel like a lot of people do this already, but on a level that's not as impactful, you know, so they'll go out to a show maybe once a year.
Yeah.
You know, they'll go out to a live show maybe once a year. Or they'll take a look at something but not really engage in it. And with the way that the political environment is now within America and particularly within Detroit with gentrification, a lot of people aren't taking the great opportunity there is to experience the expression of art. And I feel like a lot of people who are new Detroit are coming into new Detroit have a wonderful opportunity to get to know the city just simply by engaging in local artists. You know, it's that easy.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say it isn't happening because with the Decipher series Wednesday nights at the DeQuinder Cut, it's over now because summer is ended, but they do have a new series coming up. I saw a lot of people who I wouldn't deem Detroiters. You know, they look straight up from the suburbs, from Birmingham or Bloomfield. And you could see in their faces, like, whoa.
What's happening here?
Our city's really cool. I had no idea, you know, especially when NLR Experience was performing. When they were performing, the place was packed.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really great example of why it's important. Sorry, that was a burp. Why it was important to engage in local art. It's this reason exactly. You don't want to enter a space without first knowing what it is so that you can know who you are within it.
And you have to honor that space.
And you really have to honor it. Like, I'm not from Detroit. You know, I wasn't born here, but I was born in Southfield. Yeah. And I was raised in Bloomfield. You know, I just recently moved down to the city. And I know that, and I'm not going to say that, oh, just because I'm African American, I'm going to, like, get away with it. You know, like, act like I was here the whole time. I wasn't. You know, and so that's another reason why it's important for me to support local artists, because I want to know what my city is all about. Because just because I just moved down here doesn't mean it's not mine. However, like you said, I do need to honor the spaces that were here before I decided to move down here.
I think that's one of the biggest, or probably the most important thing if you're moving to Detroit or if you're moving to a city, is to honor. Honor who's there. Find out who's there. Who are they? What's their story? What are they doing? What projects are going on? Like, I hate when people are like, oh yeah, now there's all this stuff going on in Detroit. If you didn't know about it, it's because we weren't here or you weren't at that space.
Exactly.
Like, there was always stuff going on.
There's always dope things happening in Detroit.
Artists will always exist.
Always.
There's never a time where you're not going to have artists.
Exactly. It's always been happening. Yeah. And it's been around since before we were born. Probably later, you know.
So, like, find those places. Yeah. Find what's been happening.
Yeah, exactly.
What are some other ways that we can support them? So one of the things that you talked about was, like, writing down people's names, looking them up on Instagram, sharing on social media. Yeah. What are other, like, I don't know, I feel like there's so many things that you do to support artists.
Is there? I give a lot of people rides. I get to know people. I think that's one of the defining things about me, though, is that whenever I meet a new artist, I meet them. Like, I know them. Yeah. I spend a good, 2 weeks, you're my friend now. Yeah. I'm going to follow you around wherever you go. And I think that's important to me because of a few things. When I was younger, I was a Unitarian. And one of the things that my mentor, Marianne, said to us is she said that there's always, you don't meet people on accident. Every single interaction you have thereof is divine. And so when you meet someone and you have an interaction with someone, especially an artist, because art is a way of worship, it could be of idols. So it could be of Kim Kardashian kind of situation. Or it can be something beautiful and divine, like Lufukina Divine Providence. Shout out! And so when you have a meeting that is a divine meeting with any person that you have divine interaction, and you double over that with artist, which is an expression of worship or of the divinity, how could you not gravitate towards that? Your heart's going to speak of it. So I think it's important for me because of that, because I see and I seek God in all things.
Wow.
I want to be around it at all times.
Every interaction is a divine meeting.
Yeah.
Dang.
Because you have the opportunity within there to either learn a lesson, gain insight, or be a blessing to another person. And that's what we should aspire to be, be a blessing to another person.
Don't be a lesson.
Don't be a lesson for people, be a blessing. Don't be a lesson, be a blessing. That's so good. Oh my God. Somebody write that down. I'm making a thing for that. I'm going to make a thing for that. Don't be a lesson, be a blessing. That's so good.
Oh my God. Be
a blessing.
Guys, every time I do an episode, this is what happens. I just have all these things.
Hilarious.
I just love that. I love that, Christina. Send them messages on social media, even if they don't know you, telling artists how you feel about their art.
You're so right.
Yeah, that's so right, Hind.
Because what you do then is, you tell them exactly why you like it. You tell someone like Sonia.
Mm-hmm.
When I first heard her sing, you know what I told her? I was like, hey. Literally, I went up to this girl that I didn't know, and I was like, hey, your voice was so smooth and melodic, and I really, really liked it. So I used descriptive words, and she was like, oh, okay. And I was like, you don't understand. You sharing your art inspires others to share their feelings. Yeah. The way we sing is how people feel sometimes, and they can't express it. So when you do it on stage, you're giving people an outlet. And I was like, thank you for sharing that. She was like, and
just like she does
been
that.
Love ever since.
You guys can look her up, Sophia.e. She was the first guest on Digging Deeper season 1 last year.
Very first guest. Yeah.
I keep saying last year. It wasn't last year. It was last season. The beginning of this year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so true. Letting people know.
Yeah.
Exactly
why.
It feels really rewarding as an artist to share and then have someone share with you.
Yeah.
That reciprocation. Yeah. And it's also validation.
Oh, yeah.
Not that you are in need of validation, but when you know that it's affecting someone or they enjoyed it or what exactly they enjoyed of your art, it really helps you grow as an artist.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
That's so true. What else we have? Illa Dope. Haha, that would make my day if someone randomly wrote me about my stuff. Wouldn't that, though?
Yeah.
That's so true. Afaf said, I love y'all. Creative Armory is laughing. Yeah, it goes back to community. If you want to be a part of the local scene and you want to be a part of that community, you have to have those conversations.
You have to.
And social media makes it easy to do that. And sometimes it can be creepy, but just don't be creepy.
Yeah.
I feel like that's it. Just don't be creep.
I often, prominent artist from Detroit, Black Milk.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked his album Fever, and so I messaged him on Instagram. I was that person that went into his DMs, and I didn't care. I didn't even get a flying hoot that I was a female, you know, who was going to like talk to a rapper. Like immediately people are going to be like, you slid into his DMs? And I was like, I don't care. His music is dope. And track number 6 is amazing. And I love the fact that he used, different types of instrumentation and blah, blah, blah. And I told him exactly that. And ever since, like, he engages with me because of it. Yeah. So we talk a lot about his music or other people's music. Yeah. And Ravina is another one.
So good. I love her voice. Where's she from?
Amazing. She's from New York, I think, or LA. I know she bounces back between them. But I messaged her and I was like, "You're freaking dope," and she responded and was like, "Thank you." And it doesn't take much to reach out to artists who seemingly have made it big. Mm-hmm. Who have over 50K followers or whatever, and they have albums out and everything. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what level you get at. It still counts to tell somebody that, listen, your music is impactful in my community, and I appreciate you for it.
That's a good point that you bring out, because local art shouldn't be, who you reach out to and who you support shouldn't be contingent on how many followers they have or don't have.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, someone might be a really dope artist and they have like 150 followers.
Yeah, like me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm 40.
Like me.
Yeah, no,
like
for real.
600 something. Like, I don't know what it is. But it shouldn't be about the number.
It really shouldn't. It really shouldn't be.
It should be about the art.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Because as crazy as it sounds, artists, we all know what we struggle through. And we all know those days when we're like, I'm just going to put it down. Yeah. It's really just not even like, I can't anymore. And to have a random message from someone who is a fan of your work, it will re-inspire or reinvigorate that person to continue to do what they do. Yeah. So it's helpful.
Yeah. It's so helpful.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, it will also help you. It'll also help you figure out which artist you should support, like who is genuine and who is not.
You'll see right through it immediately,
which is a great. That's the marker. I feel like engage in your community members, engage in your community and local artists, because people who really care about the art will engage with you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was at Asante's listening party for his new album, which is dope.
Yeah. Listen to it, guys.
And there was a particular artist that was there who I've known for like almost 2 or 3 years now. Mm-hmm. And I tried to say hi, and still just, I'm above this. I'm only here to make an appearance, and I don't need to talk to any of the little people. And it's like, that's why you don't speak for the community, man.
Yeah.
That's why people don't show up to your shows. Mm-hmm. Like he's amazing, phenomenal artist, this person that was like stuck up, but people don't really support him like that. Yeah. And it's because you're gonna act bigger than the people who inspired your music in the first place. Like how? How so?
Yeah.
But I mean, and then you've got Asante, who was taking selfies with everybody. Mm-hmm. Who was there putting his hand around her. He was like, thank you for coming. And he went up to every single person. Mind you, there were like 100 and some, over 100 and some people there. And he went up to every single one of them I saw. And he was like, thank you for coming. I'm so happy you're here. Yeah. And he was asking personal questions about who they were. And like, how's your dog? Like random stuff like that. And that's what makes a local artist that much more inspiring. Yeah. And a part of the community.
If you're a local artist, you have to be a part of the community.
Yeah. You can't be considered a local artist and not engage in the actual community.
Yeah, not be engaged in your community. Which is also like what I really appreciate about local artists that I really love.
Yeah.
Is that they're creative and they're doing their art, they're putting it out there, but they are also supporting, like, they're advocates for something.
Yes.
And they're putting out, like,
Yes.
I'm supporting this organization, I'm doing this, I'm donating this much to this organization, or I am, like, whatever they're doing, like, those type of artists are always doing something for the community.
So I mentioned them before, but We Are Culture Creators. The organizer of that race, he bought a little shanty house, and he had these young guys that are into music, you know, young guys into music, rebuild the house, make a studio, right? They made a studio for them in this house. But then he was like, all right, y'all, we about to do some community service, right? And they were like, all right, yeah, man, we down, right? You know, and it's a give and a take, you know? You want to build a studio, you want to make music, okay, but you also need to help these people over here rebuild this park for these babies to go to. You know? And it's that's what it is. It's a give and take.
It has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah. Otherwise, who are you really speaking for? I think that's why I engage in so many different scenes and local artists. Is because I also see and engage with, like, I value what they're doing in communities. You know?
That's so true. I think, like, any of the artists that I think of that I really enjoy, like Mahogany, for instance.
I was just about to say Mahogany.
She's always traveling. She's always teaching. She's always doing stuff in the community. Like, that's really inspiring to me.
Yeah, same.
That you have such a skill, and it's not above you, like or it's not below you. Sorry, it's not below you to, you know, be in the dirt doing some work.
Yeah, exactly.
Illidub said, "Those are my homies." Those my homies.
I don't know. I know we know tons of other artists that do that kind of stuff.
But I would say, in the city, definitely go to open mics. Definitely any of the restaurants. Most of the restaurants in the city have art on the walls.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they do.
Like, most cafes, most restaurants have something. Going to galleries.
Oh yeah, Baltimore Gallery
is a great one.
Yeah. Even though they kind of hood sometimes.
No, but that space is dope.
It's so
Andy's
dope.
is dope.
Oh yeah.
Molly said, "I love you guys so much. Heart.
I love you too."
Do you have any last minute thoughts before you share art and people can support you?
Oh yes, I probably do. So Super Cool Wicked was on here 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
And she mentioned, you know, just journaling. And so I've been doing that too. I wanted to talk about, what did I want to talk about?
I love all your notes.
Oh, okay, yeah. So art is an enrichment of life. And art in Islam particularly teaches us that you can look at the top of a dome within a masjid 1,000 times and still find a new pattern. You know, and so when we engage in local art, think about it that way. You know, just because you go to Bottom Line Cafe, you know, coffee house 7 times, maybe the 8th time will be different. You know, so continue to support your local artists because they're gonna need it. And this is how we build relationships within our communities. And before you know it, you might be a major mover and shaker within it. And that's what we ultimately want, right? We want to have a voice with whatever space that we're in. And that would be a great way to do it.
Perfect. So we are going to log out. We'll be right back in less than 30 seconds. Come back because Christina's going to share some art. Yay! We'll be right back. Christina is taking out some stuff that she's going to share with us. Hi, Neek. And welcome back, Illidope. And welcome back, Creative Armory. Illidope, what's your name? What's his name? Illidope.
Illidope.
What's your name? What's your name, man? Hey!
Oh, it's my baby K1. No, it's not. That's Neek.
Yeah, Neek said hey. Creative Armory said hey. Creative Armory, guys, check them out because Creative Armory did a really great piece on Lou Fuki, my husband, and myself, and they recently just put out a nice piece on the NLR experience. So they're doing really cool things, and I love that. I love Creative Armory. I love what you guys are doing because you're all about supporting and putting out the word about local artists, who they are, what they do, what they're about. And I feel like your pieces really do embody that. Like, I was so happy with the piece you guys did on us. I just felt like it perfectly embodied who we were. And your photos captured it, everything. It was great. Everyone just calls me Illa. All right. So, take out some stuff. I'm going to grab the guitar in a second.
Okay. So I don't know if we can see this all or not, but I was asked by a masjid, which is the prayer space for Muslims, to create a flyer for a fundraiser dinner. The fundraiser dinner was to help build a gym space for the youth and also for adults to be able to exercise. So this is the flyer that I made for them for that. I don't know if you guys can see, the ring light is kind of bad.
Oh, you know what we can do is we could just turn the ring light off for a second.
Okay, cool. So this is the flyer that I made for that. Oh, I don't know if you can...
Brighten this up, brighten this down.
Brighten this down. There we go. So you can see there's a shiny little house in the middle of there. So there's a shiny little house. This is, this is one of the promotions that I really enjoyed making for Lufaki and Divine Providence because they are performing at Dali. When is that?
No, we're not performing at Dali anymore.
What?
Yeah,
Why?
we're not. We thought we were on the list, but we're not.
Oh, man.
But that's okay, because yesterday we opened up for Martha Reeves, and I swear that made my life.
So, this is one from that just recently happened. This was a flyer for what is this? The Bourgeois Bohemian, a clothing store for the African World Festival. So I made this one for that, which I was really excited for because it's something a little different than what I usually do.
I love it.
You do?
Yeah, that one's really dope.
Thanks. Let's see what's going on. This one, this one, this one. Oh, I think that was not for
Do you have to go down?
Yeah, I think I need to go more photos. This one, enter full screen. This one is one of my fan favorites. So I
love this one.
Everyone freaking loves this one. So the afro of that man is Africa, okay? And then he's saying in that little bubble, Inshallah, it's on this date. So Inshallah means by the will of God. And it's the African American Summit for Muslims. And people loved this flyer a lot. I got a lot of business after this too.
Yeah, that was the dopest flyer.
Yeah, that was amazing. That one I had in my mind. I was just waiting for the right event. That happens a lot too. I have a design in my mind that I'm waiting for the right event for. This is some of my photography. I didn't have a lot of my pictures. I saved them on my hard drive. But this is of Washington Street, and where it's all lit up, that's the Westin Hotel. My mom used to live on a building right near there, so I used to take a lot of skyline photos of Detroit. This is also another fan favorite, so Remembering Malcolm.
And you might not be able to tell, but there's like these mosaic
so there's like this mosaic design within it. This font is very characteristic of the NOI back in the 60s. It's also very characteristic of the Black Panthers. And the glasses, I wanted to do something minimalistic for this because everyone has a photo of Malcolm on their flyers. Whenever some kind of Malcolm X or Malcolm X Shabazz event, there's always going to be a photo of Malcolm. Yeah. So what I wanted to do for this one is make it minimalistic and have just one item that really encompassed who he was. Yeah. And people really like that one. I didn't even mean to, but there's a little bit of a light shining behind that, and it's like the light of Malcolm coming through. So that was something that people really, really loved.
Because you see it and you're like immediately, oh, it's
hey, Trey. Trey Priest of the house.
Trey.
This
I like that
is
one a
the
lot.
original Narratives of Pain flyer. So Narratives of Pain is it's a spoken word event, or actually kind of like an open mic event, sharing the narratives of any kind of mental health issue. And so the reason I had it like this is because art and speaking. So I painted these faces with paint because of the artistic expression, and then a big old teardrop in the middle because I'm drama.
But it's pain.
But
if
it's
you guys,
pain.
Narratives of Pain, Zayn Shamoon, the one who started Narratives of Pain, was on 3 episodes ago, so look it up.
I don't know if that's... Oh, yeah, so this is the most recent flyer that I'm working on right now. And this is for a nonprofit interfaith group. And they are doing an annual banquet, and I really, really liked it, so I decided I'd show you guys this too. I think that's it. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else.
I love it.
But this is kind of my style. This is like what I am about. These are the kind of flyers that I create for people. And yeah, like I said, I really like creating something that's clean, that's that has really good expression through design, so that people and of good quality and of a decent price, so that people don't feel like they have to build something on Microsoft Word. That's not ever good.
No.
Yeah.
You can do more than that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing all that.
You're welcome.
Do you want to sing?
Yeah.
So, Christina and myself and my sisters, some years ago,
Like for real, some years
started
ago.
Zawiya 31, which was like our fun little, was our sisters band. And this was the first song that we sang.
So the reason I told Tazeen, I said, I really want to sing this song, was because this was the first time that I had an opportunity to really support Tazeen in her musical expression. And I felt it was really important for this episode because we're talking about supporting artists to perform it. It was also we performed this for Narratives of Pain.
Yeah.
And it was really important for me to be there for her because this song had a lot of importance.
Yeah. This was my coming out of my first relationship.
Yeah.
I'm new and I'm doing my thing.
Yeah.
And it was a huge moment for me. It was a huge moment for me.
Yeah.
Because I was so nervous.
So nervous.
I'm feeling that right now as I'm just thinking about it. Because I had been performing for some time, but it was the first time that I was being open with people about what was happening with me.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm not married, I'm single. This was way back when. And it was a big deal, and you were there.
Yeah. I really wanted to be there for you.
Yeah.
And I remember having that feeling of no, we got to do this.
and that's what happened.
Serious.
So, Christina today told me that she wants to...
An hour before.
She wants us to sing the song. And guys, I have not sang this song since we did it at Marble Bar about 3 years ago.
Stop, really?
That's how long it's been since I performed this song. It was one of the first songs I wrote, so it's all open chords. I don't even play open chords anymore. So I was like...
How do I do that?
It's a whole thing that I was, but it's okay. We're going to figure it out. And if I mess up, she's going to support me.
Yeah.
I feel strange because I normally don't perform on my show. It's you.
I make you do that. All right.
She didn't think that it would end like this. Didn't think that it would go so quick. And if you asked her about yesterday, the day she lived before in misery, hold on, baby, hold on to me. Kiss my blood lips, set my blossom free. Hold on, baby, hold on to me. Hold on now, choking me. Left a hole on the wall before he took off. Bleeding hearts and shattered souls fall into reality. Hold on, baby, hold on to me. Kiss my blood lips, set my blossom free. Hold on now, hold on to me. Hold on now, hold on, dream of that ecstasy. There's a guitar solo here.
Yeah.
You can act it out. She swallowed her tears and packed his things away. Rested her head on the empty pillowcase, hoping tomorrow would bring out a new sun. Dreaming of breathing once again. Hold on now, hold on. Let go now, let go, let happiness come. Hold on now, hold on, let divine intervene. Hold on now, hold on, you're finally free. You're finally free. Hold on now, hold on, you're finally. Hold on now, hold on, you're finally free. Hold on now, hold on. Now it's time to breathe.
That was so good. It was rough.
It was rough. I messed up a bunch of lyrics.
I messed up a bunch of times too. But yay!
But the purpose of that was not me. The purpose of that was to showcase how Christina supports artists.
I support you.
And I love that about you,
Yeah.
is that you, not only in my life, but in all of your friends' lives, honestly, all of our friends are artists anyways,
Yeah.
so it happens naturally, but in everyone's life that you are a part of, you support them wholeheartedly. And you, motivate them and inspire them and push them to continue. And that's something that I really love because it's so important. Artists need to have community and they need to have friends and they need to have people who support them and want them to continue.
Yeah.
Because the struggle is real.
I love everybody. I love everybody.
With that, that's the end of the episode, guys.
Yeah. Wow.
That was it.
Okay.
Check out the website, www.digging-deeper.org. The link is in my bio. All the graphics, again, are done by Christina. The video should be up in a couple days. I'm really sorry I didn't put up the video from last week yet. I was having some technical difficulties, but it should be up hopefully tomorrow as well. And then see you guys next Tuesday.
Bye.
7
Thank
p.m.
you.